All right, now let me just remind you before we jump into what justice looks like in the Bible, I want to remind you that this campaign is not just about doing justice, loving kindness, and walking humbly with God. It's about bringing people together. And so I want to bookend today's sermon with stories of Supreme Court justices. So these stories are showing, and the first one you'll hear in just a moment is two Supreme Court justices who stand on the opposite end of how they interpret the Constitution and law. They often, in fact, most often disagree with each other on the various rulings that come forward from the Supreme Court. And yet I thought it was astounding in June when one of our members sent me this little clip of Justice Sonia Sotomayor speaking about Clarence Thomas. Take a listen.
I may have used, and I have used, as an example, my relationship with Justice Clarence Thomas. I suspect, maybe this is not true anymore, but I suspect I have probably disagreed with him more than with any other justice. That we have not joined each other's opinions more than anybody else. And yet, Justice Thomas is the one justice in the building that literally knows every employee's name, every one of them. And not only does he know their names, he remembers their families' names and histories. He's the first one who will go up to someone when you're walking with him and say, "Is your son okay? How's your daughter doing in college?" He's the first one that when my stepfather died, sent me flowers in Florida. He is a man who cares deeply about the court as an institution, about the people who work there, but about people. He has a different vision than I do about how to help people and about their responsibilities to help themselves. I've often said to people, Justice Thomas believes that every person can pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I believe that some people can't get to their bootstraps without help. They need someone to help them lift their foot up so they can reach those bootstraps. That's a very different philosophy of life. But I think we share a common understanding about people and kindness towards them. That's why I can be friends with him and still continue our daily battle over our difference of opinions in cases.
I thought this was really remarkable when I saw it because this was in the middle of the debate and discussions around Roe versus Wade. They were going to end up on opposite sides of that ruling. It was in the midst of a time of great conflict this summer, great conflict over a number of different issues and rulings that were going to come out. And yet you have one Supreme Court justice saying, we don't agree and we see this differently, but he's still my friend. And these are all the good things I see in him. And we need more of that. And I thought these are justices. We're going to talk about justice today. These are justices of the Supreme Court who are showing us how you can disagree with another human being strongly and at the same time care about them.